As they take on Sheffield United. As Ali Mann mentioned in the commentary, a huge amount of possession for City, 85% in that first half. Sheffield United have had no shots on target, no chances whatsoever. City dominated the first half, but haven't been able to convert it, obviously, into that all-important goal. Gareth, is it a silly question to say that despite City's dominance, will Sheffield United be the much happier team at half-time?
I thought you were going to ask me, am I still happy with my 4-0 prediction? Which I want to say, yeah, I'm still quite happy and confident. Yeah, of course. But I think, if you're coming in in the City dressing room, you've got to be positive in that. Okay, the big fella's missed a penalty, but, they've dominated. It's been a half-pitch practice. There's just maybe a couple of little things they might be able to do that will help them in terms of getting a little bit more energy in around the opposition goal. But yeah, I think it's the way they dominated the half has been impressive to watch. Okay, if they get the goal, I think one goal will just open it up for them. Sheffield will be happy though. There's no doubt about that. They will be, because their game plan is working. They're, like Andy said in the commentary, they don't look dangerous on the break, but they have some pace. But City defenders are dealing with it really well, and I think at the moment it's be patient, keep doing the right things, be disciplined with your positions, be disciplined with the ball, be patient, and things will open up.
So let's talk about that penalty, Keith. So we're all pretty much in agreement, no question. It was an obvious handball. What did you make of the penalty?
The actual penalty from Haaland?
Yeah.
I think he knew where he was going. I think he was quite aggressive. I'll speak to Wes as well, because we play golf at the same golf club up in Sheffield. I'd have told him to go to his left. But no, I think Haaland was aggressive, struck it very well. I've taken penalties, I've missed penalties. I remember I took one against Aston Villa, and I knew Mark Bosnich, the goalkeeper at the time, I knew he was going to go to his left. And I was telling the story to my son. I said, I know he's going to go to the left, so I put a little bit higher and a little bit wider than I normally do. And I missed. And my son said, well, why don't you just put it the other way? It's not that easy. When you stood there and you've got all the pressure on you and you get that focus, and it's one of those, you make your mind up and that's where you're going to put it. So good penalty, struck it well. Another inch inside, it goes in off the post.
And for all those people, I guess, that say Erling Haaland is a machine, he's actually just a human being, Shaun. What did you make of the battle that was going on between him and the Sheffield United defenders?
Well, I think both will relish it, because Haaland's a player that he will enjoy that sort of battle. But there is a time when it goes across the line, and that sometimes he's like, this is a foul. But he will enjoy that, and he'll be the fact that, okay, his penalty 6 inches inside, he scores. He'll be still eager to want to get the next opportunity. So he'll be looking forward to it, certainly.
What do you make about have you been in the battles where, because we've seen a few sort of penalty shouts because of the way the Sheffield United players have their arms around him or pulling him. Is it 50-50, or how have you sort of seen those?
Well, for me, once a defender sort of puts both arms around you, for me, they're not really... For me, a defender should be able to touch you in a way to know where you are, but when they start sort of putting both hands around you, they're basically stopping you from any sort of momentum. So for me, I think that's something that should be looked at.
That's a centre forward, isn't it?
Okay, yeah. I like
that's
this.
a centre forward that wants everything.
That was the centre forward. Let's get the defender.
If you're playing against Haaland, it's one of you are going to be his shadow in the box. You are going to get inside his shorts. You are going to get up close and personal with it and not give him any space. Yeah, obviously with grabbing him, wrapping your arms.
That's a penalty.
Wrapping your arms around him, that can't happen. But
you just said it. It can't happen. Yeah. There you go.
He said it.
Yeah, I mean,
on camera, it can't happen.
Yeah, that situation there. He's got both arms around him. And again, I think defenders, they should be feeling where the attack is, and sometimes it's going to be a little tussle of the jersey, etc. But when you start getting both hands around, that means
a bear hug. Yeah, when you're bear hugging somebody to the ground, that can't happen.
So in today, I think VAR should be having a look at that and saying, referee, have a look at this, because again, he's not looking at the ball initially. He's just grabbing Haaland, and that shows you he's playing the player, not the ball.
But there was the other one as well, wasn't it, with Haaland, where they were both grabbing hold of each other and then went to the ground.
Yes. But then you say that eliminate that because they're both sort of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
That one there, I'm not sure that one is. I don't there's a bit of jostling. Yeah. It's not great.
Yeah.
It looks a bit like a wrestling move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
So what are you doing as a striker, Gareth, then? If you know that the defenders are battling you like this, a lot of arms around you, a lot of grabbing in the box, what are you going to do in the second half? Are you just sticking to your game plan, or is there something else you can do?
Well, I think in these types of moments, you're going to get Haaland in the middle of the goal like that. And so I don't think anything will change in that respect. And he'll be using his arms as well to try and manoeuvre and get purchase on it. I think when the player's a little bit deeper, because Sheffield are playing with a back five, the player that's either side of the central defender, so the left and the right side is central defender, City's midfielders have a responsibility to try and entice that player where we could get Haaland into that channel, because Guardiola's got a good left foot. He'll find him if you can just create a little bit more loft, and you'll find Haaland through on goal, facing the goal. But these types of actions in the middle, I think Erling's going to just continue using his body, not allowing them to defend him easily. I think that's really important.
It's interesting because Haaland's a physical player, he will relish that challenge. But I sort of think to myself when I used to play, if a player was a lot more stronger than me, I couldn't get near him because they'll just hold me and that was it. It was game over. They win the battle. So the fact that he's physically as strong, he'll continue to do that. But I would say if he feels he's not winning that battle, it's just to be moving and arrive in the space at the time he feels is going to be flicked there or delivered there. But that was me playing against, I don't know, Andy Morrison. And Andy would just grab me and go, you're going nowhere, son. And that would be game, set, and match. But again, because he's a strong player, he will stay there and he'll win his first share. So he'll win his sixth.
You do get some centre forwards that shy away from that physical contact. Yeah, but you get some, like you said, Erling relish it. He doesn't mind it. He will enjoy that physical.
I am looking forward to seeing it in the second half again, to seeing what they do and how he reacts to it. In terms of other big chances, of course, Julian Alvarez had the great chance that was saved well by Foderingham. He's been on corners as well. What have you made of Alvarez's first 45?
Yeah, I think just talking about it earlier on, sometimes I think he can play higher. And then when he comes short, attract the centre back to come, the wide centre back to come out, and then that will leave space for Haaland. But no, he's looking bright. He's arriving in the box, which is what there's going to be a physical confrontation going on in and around Haaland, and then any bits and pieces that bounce down, that's where you want Alvarez arriving into the box, and he's excellent at it as well.
I think it's interesting. Like we were all talking before the game, who's going to be the player that steps into the midfield? Well, actually, they've kept pretty much a back four. Kyle's gone up high on the right, and Bernardo's rolled inside. The space is wide. So it's not really about kind of pushing one of the centre-backs into midfield or left-back coming inside. I think it's the space is wide. The five players in front of the back five of Sheffield are having to work tremendously hard. There's a lot of physical actions required there. And I think, again, just going back to that bit of patience with City, keep moving the ball well. When they get opportunity to put the ball in the box, something might happen. There's a fair chance you'll get another penalty in this game. But I feel if they can get one, the floodgates will open up a little bit because Sheffield will have to come out a little bit more.
If Big City get another penalty, if you've missed the first one, would you want to take it again?
I'll answer for Haaland. Haaland will definitely think. I'll answer for Big Erling. He's definitely stepping up. Well, I asked you that, didn't I, Shaun?
Yeah.
I think he would, definitely.
Yeah, I think Haaland would step up. And
not sure I'd be allowed.
Yeah, I don't think I would step up as well. We're like, anyone else favour this one, fancy this one? But I think he will step up because he'd want to get himself back on his score sheet with scoring penalties as well. So his mental capacity is at the highest level. So
what about in the women's team? Because Chloe missed a penalty, didn't she? And then did she go back to the back of the line?
Yeah, we spoke about this, haven't we? That we have a policy that it's not really set by me. It's some of the coaches we have at the club who kind of really take charge of that space. And it's as it stands, it's kind of one of those that if you miss one, you end up moving because there's about 4 or 5 really good takers. You saw Philippa Angadal scoring one. And all of a sudden I was like, and then knew Philippa took penalties and, Alex is more than capable. You've got Bunny Shaw who takes them, Chloe, of course. So, there's a lot of options in there.
Nice, yes. It's a nice problem to have, that. Yeah, would you step up again, Keith?
Yeah. I think again, it's not a technical; it's a mental. That time period when you're putting the ball down, and then you have to clear your mind. You know where you're going, and then you have demons coming in your mind because you're thinking like, you know that they've been analysing your previous penalties. They know where you've gone on your last 3 or 4 penalties, and then it's that mind game, and you've got to stick to your guns. It's not a technical operation. You're kicking the ball 12 yards. You just got to make sure you miss the goalkeeper diving.
Oh, yeah. That's something Chump's thinking about it, Shaun.
Yeah, the one thing about penalty takers today, for me, I think if I'm a penalty taker playing today, I would have to be practicing all 3 places, sort of left, right, middle, because of what goes on, the research that goes on, and saying, well, he's taking the last 3 penalties, this is where he's going, and you see goalkeepers on the bottles, they've got all sorts, analysing. I think teams that come and watch City, you look at their goalkeeper bottle, I mean, that's a show in itself. Yeah. They zoom in and you see, what place Haaland's going on his last penalty or last 3 penalties. So for me, you need to sort of have that variation in your game, and not taking a lot of penalties. For me, it would have been uncomfortable to say, right, I'm going to step up now and I'm going to go to my right. I always pretty much favoured going to my left a little bit. So
I'd won against Man United. We're down to 10 men at Old Trafford, 1-0 down, and we got the penalty, and it seemed like an age. And I'm taking it in front of the City fans at Old Trafford, and I'm thinking, don't change your mind, kid. And that's what I kept on saying, don't change your mind, don't change your mind. I know that he knows that I'm going to his left, so I've just gone a little bit higher, and I'm thinking, but that mental, but even though you take your first step and then don't change your mind, don't change your mind.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't.
Funny you mentioned that, Keith. We've had a WhatsApp in that I noticed a bit earlier. Key says, who was the last City player to get a penalty at Old Trafford? It was you. On the 7th of April 1992, that 31 years ago, so probably that one you were...
Let me tell you, Peter Schmeichel looked massive in that net as well. And the longer it was taking, the goal was getting smaller.
Five-a-side goal, was it?
92, we've got to be due another one soon, surely.
Right? Well, yes, I think some City fans were questioning that on Twitter. I'll try and ask a couple of WhatsApp questions now, because I appreciate I didn't get to do any before the game. So we'll say Mike Judge has asked, what's your opinions on Foden playing the central De Bruyne role whilst De Bruyne is out injured, but of course Foden's on the bench today. I know you would love to see him there.
Yes, I love him there because he's dynamic, and we talked about, De Bruyne, and no one could sort of find that killer pass, that final pass that De Bruyne has, but Foden could bring something that could be similar to with his dribble, his ability to receive balls in the pocket, drive, and then slide players. 2 different ways of hurting the defence, but that for me, Foden playing central, that's where I'd prefer him.
Thank you. And George, just want to say as well, George has messaged in, can you please say a happy 13th birthday to Leon in Sydney, Australia? He's a big City fan. Happy birthday, Leon. Right, the teams are back out. Get your second half commentary from Alistair Mann on the Manchester City app. He's alongside Andy Morrison. We'll be back here at full time, where hopefully we are talking about City finally getting a goal, 3 in a row. Come on, Blues. We'll see you at full time.
Welcome back to Bramall Lane as Sheffield United take to the pitch, probably having been encouraged by what they've managed to do in the first half, which is to frustrate City and keep them at 0-0, despite, of course,